Hey there! Today, let's shine the spotlight on the turn coordinator, the final gyroscopic instrument on our list. We'll compare it to the turn and slip indicator, examining how they both utilize precession to function, discuss the information each of them offers, and how to use them for coordinating turns. In most conventional aircraft instrument panels, you'll likely find a turn coordinator, although occasionally a turn and slip indicator may be present instead. Both instruments serve the same purpose but have slight operational differences. They consist of two main components, a turn rate indicator, which operates on the gyroscopic principle of precession, and an inclinometer that responds to gravity and centrifugal force. While both the turn coordinator and turn and slip indicator depict the quality and direction of the turn, there's a key distinction. The turn coordinator also provides information about the rate of bank, which the turn and slip indicator does not. What sets these indicators apart is how their gyros are set up. In the turn and slip indicator, the gyro is aligned parallel to the longitudinal axis. It's not a free gyro, so when the airplane yaws, it twists the gyro's rotating axis, causing it to precess. In the turn coordinator, the gyro still sits along the longitudinal axis but at an angle. This means the gyro feels the twist not only from yawing but also from banking. We'll dig deeper into each of these and see how they really work in a minute. Now, take a closer look at how the gyro is configured in the turn and slip indicator. The gyro is positioned along the aircraft's longitudinal axis and spins vertically around the lateral axis. Let's visualize the aircraft and gyro from different perspectives, using a dot to represent the rotating axis. When the airplane banks, it rotates about its longitudinal axis, also known as the roll axis. Because the gyro lines up with this axis, there's no net force acting on its rotating axis, so the gyro doesn't sense a turn. Similarly, when the airplane pitches, the rotating axis of the airplane and the gyro are aligned, keeping the gyro's spinning axis unaffected, and again, no turn is detected. Let's see what happens when the airplane yaws. Notice how the gyro is viewed from a different angle compared to the aircraft, as indicated by the axis. When the airplane yaws, it rotates around the vertical axis, imparting a twist to the gyro's spinning axis. This twist lands horizontally on the gyro, but due to gyroscopic precession, its effect is delayed by 90 degrees in the spinning direction, causing the gyro to tilt. The direction and speed of this tilt are translated into the direction and rate of turn, shifting the pointer on the turn rate scale. The amount of tilting is regulated by a spring connected to the gyro, which also centers the gyro once the turn stops. This mechanism is also how the turn coordinator displays the rate of turn. However, the turn coordinator's gyro is canted, meaning its axes are no longer parallel to the airplane's axis. When the airplane rolls, it twists the gyro's spinning axis in similar way as when it yaws, causing the gyro to tilt, enabling the turn coordinator to relate how fast the airplane banks. Having explored how a turn indicator informs us about bank and turn, it's time to check out the second component of this instrument, the inclinometer. This component doesn't rely on gyros. It consists of a glass capsule filled with liquid, housing a small glass ball. Due to Earth's gravity, the ball naturally settles at the lowest point in the tube. However, centrifugal force resulting from yawing motion pushes the ball sideways. So, what exactly can we read from these instruments? Well, in the turn and slip indicator, there's a center mark that kinda looks like a doghouse. When you're cruising straight, the pointer, or turn needle, lines up with this mark. You've also got the turn rate scale on each side of this center mark, showing how fast you're turning. If the needle swings farther from the center, it means you're turning faster. And those handy letters L or R just let you know if you're turning left or right. Now, the turn coordinator. Instead of a pointer, it's got a little airplane symbol. The two marks at the top represent 0-degree turn. If the wingtips of the miniature airplane align with these marks, you're flying straight. The faster the miniature airplane tilts, the faster your aircraft is banking. But remember, the degree of tilt represents the rate of turn, not the bank angle itself. So, don't go treating it like just another attitude indicator, okay? These side marks are standard rate turn markers. By aligning the needle or the wingtip of the mini airplane with one of these marks, you are turning at a rate of 3 degrees per second. A full circle is completed in 2 minutes, as stated underneath the inclinometer. If it indicates otherwise, then the markers will signify a different rate of turn. A quick refresher on some basic control inputs and aerodynamic forces. Level flight is achieved by balancing the aircraft's weight with the lift generated by its wings. However, when you bank, this balance is disrupted as the lift is split into horizontal and vertical components. To keep things steady, you've got to tweak the angle of attack and power to maintain altitude and airspeed. We'll save the deep dive into aerodynamics for another time. Right now, let's focus on how to use the instrument to coordinate turns by considering only the horizontal lift and its counterpart, the centrifugal force. To counteract that horizontal lift, you need to step on the ball, which means tapping on the rudder pedal on the same side as the ball is positioned in the clinometer's tube. When a turn is coordinated, the centrifugal force balances the horizontal lift, keeping the ball centered between the reference lines. And the aircraft's nose aligns with the flight path. Keep in mind, you may need to adjust the bank angle to maintain a constant rate of turn. If during a turn you increase the bank angle but don't keep up the rudder input, you'll notice the ball slowly rolling away from the center toward the side of the turn. It is a sign that the horizontal lift is overpowering the centrifugal force, causing the aircraft's nose to start sliding outside the flight path. This is an uncoordinated turn called a slipping turn. As you wrestle with the controls and overcorrect, you'll notice the ball moseying over to the other side. Now the centrifugal force prevails over the horizontal lift. The aircraft's nose starts pointing inward along the flight path. Voila, you are skidding! Now that you've got the hang of using the instrument, let's not overlook some crucial details. To prevent all your instruments from going dark at once, the turn coordinator is usually powered differently from the other 2 gyroscopic instruments. It typically operates on electricity, and if there's a power glitch, a red-off flag will pop up as an alert. Also, keep in mind that if the aircraft reaches certain bank or pitch angles, the gyro might tumble. Plus, the spring that restricts the gyro isn't designed to withstand extreme force. While taxiing on the ground, keep an eye on the turn coordinator and ensure it's displaying the correct information. You want to see it pointing in the direction of your turn, with the little ball moving to the opposite side of the turn.
Hey, we've wrapped up the gyroscopic instruments. Next up on our agenda is one of the most crucial pieces of equipment, the magnetic compass. Stay tuned!